Hi guys, it's Cindy Leach, your polymer clay tutor, and in today's PCT mini toot, I'm going to show you how to make a polymer clay zipper cane. Now, last video I talked a little bit about making more contrast in your polymer clay Skinner blends, or gradients, or ombres, or teardrop blends, whatever you want to call them. But how to get more contrast, and I mentioned that we would be making a zipper cane this time around. And what a zipper cane is a polymer clay cane that you can take slices off of and use for all kinds of different projects. And the design looks a little bit like a zipper because it's light to dark, alternating back and forth. There are different versions of zipper canes out there that people teach, and they add variations and different things to them. But this is a very basic zipper cane that is quite simple to do, and I will show you how to do that now. Now, what you're going to need is at least 2 colors of polymer clay. I'm going to be using these 3 colors here. Because I want a blend that has a lot of contrast in it. Now, do watch that previous video on the contrast, getting the contrast in your blends, because it'll really help you decide which colors to choose. But if you want to do one exactly like this, you're going to need one section of, there's 4 sections in a block of Primo, and that's the brand that I'm using today. One section of this is Periwinkle. For some reason, I always forget that name. Periwinkle, one section of Wisteria, and one section of white. And then you're going to need to turn that into a teardrop blend. Now, I also have more in-depth videos on doing a teardrop blend, but I will show you the basic concept of how that works here. They can take a little while, so I won't go through the whole process. So if you've never done one, make sure to watch the videos that I have on that. So I'm just taking my section and I'm turning it into a ball first, and then I'm going to turn it into a teardrop shape. And this is so that we can get our triangular shapes that we need to get the blends. So there's the one shape. Now, I didn't bother conditioning this clay ahead of time. Don't really need to, because just the whole process of blending, making a Skinner blend or teardrop blend, conditions the clay plenty anyway, so there's no need to precondition it. Unless it's rock hard or crumbly or something, then you would need to precondition it. But this is fresh clay, so it's good to go. And as you can see, or hopefully you can see, I'm alternating the shapes pointy to thick, back and forth. So in the previous video, I just did a blend like this, and then I added the white, but in this one, we might as well just get right to the point and add the white right now. So I'm getting, this white is a little stiffer. And we'll get a teardrop shape there, and then I would add it right here to the end. Now you would then flatten it out, and you can do it with a roller a little bit. You need it so that you can run it through your pasta machine. Now, if you do not have a pasta machine, then you can do it by hand with an acrylic rod like this, but it will take a lot more work. So a pasta machine is definitely easier if you're going to be doing a lot of blends. Then you take your blend, you run it through at the thickest setting of your pasta machine, like this. And I'm kind of controlling the width here. You fold it in half, and you run it through again, and you do this forever and ever. You can even double it over 2 times if you want. Try not to trap any air in there, squeeze it out the ends, and then run it through the machine like that. So you would continue and continue, and believe me, if you do it enough times, you'll end up with a really smooth, beautiful blend, just like this. All right, so now what you need to do, you've got your blend. We need to manipulate this into a much skinnier width. So we want it anywhere between 1 inch and 1.5 inches. It doesn't matter that much, but we want to have something that we can deal with that's a lot smaller than this big width. So the best thing to do to control that width is to first fold it in half, and you always want to make sure your blend's going up and down. I'm going to fold it in half again, and I'm going to shorten it up. And you can do this just by pushing your hands on either side. And we've already got it a lot skinnier than it was before. Just by manipulating it here. We're keeping the colors the way they were. Now when we go to put it into our machine, we can continue to control the width by squeezing on the side here. I want it to be relatively flat though, because I don't want it to hurt my machine. And now I'm going to kind of hold my fingers to the side and run it through at the thickest setting. And now we have a much skinnier sheet. It's still not quite as skinny as I would like. So I'm going to do that one more time. Squish it up. And we're getting really close here. It's at about 2 inches wide now. And once we have a strip that is about an inch to an inch and a half or so wide, then we have something to work with. All right, so let's try this again. And I'm continuing to pinch. And I kind of hop back and forth. If I just hold on to it, sometimes it'll drag and crumble a little on the edge. But if you kind of pinch it like that, it'll go through nicely. So now we have a nice, long, skinny strip. Now, what we're going to do is cut this and stack it into alternating sections. And the quickest way to do that is to take it and cut it in half. So where's half? Somewhere like that. And we're going to take this, and I left it at the thickest setting. It's going to give the best effect if it's fairly thick. So I'm going to stack this on top, but see how these colors are matching? What I want to do is I want to flip that over so that the colors are opposite. Now what I'm going to do is trim it on either end here so that I don't have, so that everything's all kind of matching up. And then I'm going to cut it in half. That's about half. We're going to take this stack, and now because it's already alternating, we can just stack it on top and cut it one more time and stack it one more time, and that should be good. Now what you have is a zipper cane. Now you can either, now let me just trim up the front there so it's nice and clean and you can see how nice that looks. Isn't that so very cool? Now, you can reduce this cane. You can trim up the sides a bit if you were worried about the edges flopping over. If you don't mind about that, that's fine too. You can reduce it and make it longer, smaller. You can take slices of it. You can lay these slices next to each other, for example. And make a big sheet that you can roll out to the same thickness, cut earrings out of, cut shapes out of, use them as background cane or backdrops, all kinds of very, very cool things that you can do with this simple zipper cane. So I hope that was fun for you. It's an easy project. I want you to go ahead and try that. Try it with whatever colors that make you happy. And do make sure to check out those previous videos so that you can really get a good handle on how to do color blends and how to do these neat little canes. If you like this video, do let us know. And if you have any suggestions for techniques or things that you don't understand, then leave those in the comment section below. And make sure to check out our other videos. We have absolutely tons and tons of videos that we've done, and you may just have one in there that you have not seen before. So make sure to check that out too. All right, so we'll see you next time, and bye for now.